Yeah, yeah. Um, it's the 16th. I survived. I can't believe I survived. I'm struggling, but I survived. I still can't wrap my head around the time frame. As many times as he's called that fucking doctor has called me to set an appointment following something, only to give me bullshit, only to confuse me and have me go home and me go through the rigors of this and then lose time, space. I know it's next week, but it doesn't make any sense. Has it been 21 days? Seems like it was just yesterday. Wasn't it last week? Fuck. Anyways, I'm trying to shake off this pain without being angry. Well, not angry, but without being too excitable. And it's not working too well. We've tried everything so far. We. And the SOB, shortness of breath, is just rancid. It's just rancid. I have to sit up in my room. I can't I can't go in the living room and lay back. I'll start choking. Yeah, I'll start choking. So anyways, the 16th, that's the 7, that's internal. So my little monster's internal, right? My little Mucinex monster. And I actually turned music on this morning because I need a distraction out there with the kids, the cats. They get all confused because I never play music. Now they're looking around where it's coming from. So we had a little change in temperature. I can feel a chill, and it's overcast, which is kind of comforting. But I have a very splitting headache on this side. I really do. I've already taken Tylenol. Just have to ease myself through the day. I'm not fixing lunch day. Yesterday killed me. Trying to help Jeffrey and catch up and to be ready and prepared. It can't work. It's not going to work anymore until I can overcome this portion. So still haven't heard from the um, care coordinator. So since March, April of this year, I was diagnosed with small cell lung cancer, and the care coordinator has come in to see me while I'm getting infused twice to catch up with me because he never gave me the pamphlet he was supposed to give me until just now. So at the end of all of my series, I get the pamphlet, which seems to mean nothing to me, but then triggered the whole mess around to open that door and find out what this new one is and how inadequate those people are. I'm sorry to say that. Inadequate. They routine themselves on one modality. COVID came along to create a modality to make more money for Fauci and the rest of them, mRNA, which opens up a whole new level of medical um, possibilities. And now we're utilizing them, even though you didn't take the jab or you did take the jab. But it's a modality that they were able to authorize legally now that people are prepared in their bodies to accept it. But we have to know what it does. And we have to know the ramifications of such a thing. I'm glad I didn't take the jab because I don't want to alter my own DNA. No, it's a messenger scent. Even though I'm utilizing it, I'm utilizing it against cells that are eventually going to die. Hopefully, that's a short one. Try to relax. Yeah, I'll try to relax. So the end time spirit's within right now. It entered in us. Last night, I woke up at around, I thought it was like 9:50 something, maybe 10 o'clock, but it was more closer to midnight. And Jeff was still up, and I felt better, but I had to eat, and I had to take some pain meds, and I sat in my room last night till 3 a.m. So I wouldn't make too much noise. and listen to videos. And then I was able to go back to sleep. And now I'm just trying to rest and breathe with a minimal amount of, resistance. But I didn't realize I skipped my Mucinex that I put myself on. This morning I missed my dose. So I just took that. So it should start to work and I should have a clear lung. Shouldn't take but maybe 10 or 15 minutes. I'm hoping it'll clear while we're talking. Allowing me to exercise my lungs, if you don't mind. It's okay. Don't be afraid. I'm not going to die on screen. Besides, you wouldn't see it. Uh, Facial numbness everywhere. It's very difficult. How can you have a painful face and a numb face at the same time? What is that? A painful numb? That's silly. Very silly. So the seven is as a photographic memory as it is the student-teacher relationship at graduation. That's stepping out eventually into the world as the teacher, allowing the teacher to just remain within through wisdom, not so much understanding. Sorry. Those teachers that are teaching what we know, well, then that just puts us in the rut, doesn't it? It does put us in the rut. Now, I'm really highly freaked out that our government, our hazmat teams, our FDA, our whatever organization out there with all their little funds and whistles are looking at Georgia and that chemical plant spilling out on all those people's homes, all that ammonia nitrate or whatever it is that they're going to test for. And they're going to take samples off of people's cars. It's being distributed just far and wide. And the government says, sit back and let it all burn. So you're going to poison everybody for your own benefit to save you money. Is that the most despicable thing you've ever heard of? The most despicable thing. I'm totally shocked. The pictures are horrendous. I don't understand. I do not understand the mentality of anybody that cannot see how all of these foundations and all of these, well, not foundations, but all of these structures within our foundation were set up not to make money, not to give you a position of power, not to supply you with a job of nepotism upon your children, not to take advantage of the states and the counties and the whole country. No, you uncivil servants, you complete uncivil servants, stealing from the house of the Lord. Yeah, and it was an inside job. So the seven is an inside job, isn't it? So this is also an inside job. Sure it is. And it's despicable. It's beyond despicable. So how terrible. The seven is an L, as it is light, as it is an angel. And we recognize the seven churches, and we should recognize which church that we belong to if we're practicing in that capacity of the dragon. That would be Christianity. And I'm not a Christian. So even though I can run through this as one of the witnesses, Ben Yosef, it doesn't mean I'm Christian. It never will make me a Christian. It only means that I can see into what you're talking about because it wasn't meant to be Christian. No, Yeshua didn't come here to make you a religion so that you'll obey. But obviously, through your rituals and your ministrations, you saw how profitable it was for Paul. And look at the cathedrals that stood on this planet, for so long, as they took from the widow and the orphan purposely. And they reveal that many times, many, many, many times over. So there's three unclean spirits upon all of Jerusalem. Now, that's not Jerusalem over there. It's just a city named Jerusalem. We are spiritual Egypt and Sodom. Jerusalem. This is the promised land. And Anybody that would like to leave, please do so. And and it doesn't mean that anybody who wants to come, please do so. No, the filth needs to, the heathen, the violent man, the rapist, the murderer, the drug pushers, the pedophiles, all of these people who are poured into this country and with their diseases need to be ushered right back out. And I don't want to hear a thing about money because obviously this administration spent it on their own pocket, and that means that we can pull civil forfeiture if they committed a crime. Yeah, we can call it uncivil forfeiture, take everything they had and clean up this mess. Yeah, by January we could have a clean slate. Mhm. Yeah, we can. So the seven is it a very it's a very appropriate number for students as so as to become a teacher, but also if you're a person who's in danger, there's such a thing called salvation. Salvation is for those who are in danger. And the seven will step in and put you in jail, put you in prison. And believe it or not, that's your safety net. That's where you're most safe. Because out on the street, you're a hit. That's right. And out on the street, you are pulling some bullshit. That's right. And in your high esteem offices, I see no difference. I see absolutely no difference whatsoever. Yeah, yeah. He comes back with tens, thousands of his saints, and well, they're not too pleased, and they have the answers, and they know what you've done. Some of them are personally known by you. Each and every one of you participated in such a thing. Mhm. Mm. Sorry, it's just kind of a wave. Yeah, I just want to keep touch. I just don't want there to be not another video, and everybody just kind of scratch their head and wonder. I don't want that to happen. I'm going to try not to let that happen. Even if I look terrible, I'll try to mussy myself up. Yeah. And next month is my birthday, 11/15. I'll be 61. And I go into the seven. And that's important. I guess that's why I'm preparing myself for that internalized place. That place that's so peaceful and rest in peace. Yeah, how important that is. Until my time is called. And you would hear it. You would hear it as the trumpets blow. And you would feel it because you would feel yourself go. And what a glorious thing on that day. Yeah. And all that previous talk in the beginning, wanting to just opt out and say, let's go. And just shut it off like my friend Natalie shut it off. And many people do. Assisted suicide sort of thing. I'm not going to do it. I don't think I need to. I think the Lord has me, contrary to what people are saying to me. There are these few comments that come through that people try to throw the accuser wand at me, and it's so easy. It's like, okay, so I just told you what is the most obvious thing about Israel. I did. I told someone the most obvious thing about Israel, the state, the false state. They have not brotherly love. Now, I teach that brotherly love is missing because she was taken, but after her nurturing, she comes down veiled as a bride. So she comes back as a spiritual covering upon those 144,000 individual people. And they're not just people, they're men. They're specifically men who are virgins. Yep. For they're not defiled by women. And so they're not as you think that they are. They're homosexuals, they're eunuchs, they're not defiled by women. A homosexual is always meant to be like the Ethiopian eunuch, a servant unto the highest, because they're the most trusted. They're not going to do something for their family, their son, their daughter. They're not going to do something for their friends over that which employs them. No, they're completely devoted to their houses. They're eunuchs, but they're naturally born eunuchs. They're not slaves, so they can hold the office of high esteem. They can have children if they want, but they're not going to barter with their children, and they're not going to treat their children as nepotism to usher into the next realm of their control. No, children would find their own way. Young people will find their own calling. And a eunuch really doesn't have any business raising children, but he can choose. But he has to marry a woman. And then he disqualifies himself as a portion to the Lord's house. He can work for anybody else's house. He can work for Biden's house. I mean, Jill was a babysitter in the beginning, and now look at her. She's a babysitter at the end, until the end. And so she was seeking clout. That's not a servant. No, that's a gold digger. And there's lots of them out there. So the presentation is there. People just don't understand the meanings of what was, what is not, that should be, and what can be, and that will be, and carry through. But we know that this is a changeover to the millennial reign of Christ, and the Christ being the dragon, one of the three unclean, because it's the beast, the false prophet, and the dragon. Judaism as the beast. Yeah, of course it is. And they call everyone else the beast. So they're the beast. And then Islam, that of peace. That's the false prophet. And then Christianity, the vanity. And that's all there is. That's what you're dealing with. The Lord's in the grave. He's unaware. He's unaware. He's facing his own Father. And yeah, and it's time. So last night when I woke up, 12:30, before 12, Jeff was still up. I distinctly heard there's an elephant in the room. And I thought to myself, oh, those poor little baby elephants. You know, I would hate to have such a burden as to take care of a baby elephant. They're so sweet. They're known for memory, a long longevity memory. They can remember details. They remember every elephant they ever met. But I heard El and Enfant, the child of El, and the morning star, and the man child, and that the child was lifted the moment he was born, and that was August 21st, 2017. And through his passage, and it doesn't really give a time on him, that he would return with a rod of iron. And I know that rod of iron has a lot to do with the mighty millstone. It has to do with electricity. It has to do with power and control. And isn't that what this is, this whole year? Yeah, this has been a rod of iron. It has been on me, especially burning through my hips, my legs, my femur, my knees, my feet, my whole body. So there's a child in the room. How beautiful. How utterly beautiful. And now I'm investing in a house because I can. And I would have all those years if I had been able to pull income. Could you imagine all those plants I started if I had gotten $1 for every little cutting I made? I would have had the whole house painted. Yeah, I would have had all the roof holes leaked. Well, the leaks are fixed, except for in the laundry room. But I would have had those fixed. And I certainly would have brought a plumber in. Jeff's got a lot of responsibility to pay for the house and the taxes. And then, of course, how many cars did he go through while he was here? Four? Four cars based on, well, ego, mostly. The first one to impress the world, that he had to actually go and take a bus all the way. Was it a bus or a flight? But he took himself all the way to somewhere, Arkansas, Alabama, I don't know, almost to Mississippi border, to pick up a vehicle that he was in love with. Now that's a little ridiculous, but that's his adventures. That's his joy. That's his money. I didn't hold any animosity. I did in a while, for a while, and it was exclusive and it was nice. Volkswagen Touareg, the Touareg, but it started really costing him when it came to repairs. And when I started doing funky things to it and not working. And at one point it was parked for a month. Well, what good is a car parked for a month if you're making such heavy payments? But he paid it off, and then he got swindled. He gets swindled easily. I wish I was around to lead him, but then he gets mad at me when I detect someone lying. He does. He gets upset because I'll say it. But someone's and I will walk him out of a building if I even detect a swindler or Jew. Same thing. I see no difference. And you can say, well, you're an anti-Semite. You're labeling. No, 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 no. That's how, especially through such a means, that they're able to use usury. Where for Jew, $2. For Jew, $3. See how they play that game? And I see it all the time. It just runs through me. I can pick up on it. Yeah, it's amazing what I can do. It is. I'm often amazed at what I do. And then I'm often amazed at how much it scares people or frightens them. But that's okay. And as B says, no weapons formed against me shall prosper. And it's the indignation that I place upon them that is the justice of the Lord in its own right. If that's not the right words, that's close enough. Certainly makes sense. I was just listening to a Christian now calling himself the mighty great lion, questioning Judah, which is the Hebrew Israelite on the street doing the bullshit, because they can't read either. They need to be talked to as a friend from a mentor, someone they can respect. Now, that ain't me, but it should be, because that's who Gabriel decided it should be. It wasn't me who decided such a thing. I never heard of such a thing. No, that was up to Gabriel. So it's up to those Hebrew Israelites to wake up from that. And I think a lot of them have. And that's where they form communities. And they're not involved in that street bullshit. But they will welcome in anyone who's part of the Hebrew Israelite movement. I just don't do the costume bullshit. That whole drag queen thing, I'm just over that, black man. That whole wearing the gold monster stuff, I'm over it, honey. Your your black ass music, I'm fucking over it, man. I'm over it. I am. I'm over it. Filth and all of that corruption and all those toys that you have, which are idols, I'm over it, man. I never had it. And so I have no respect from them. And I don't. A little grumbly still. Yeah, it's coming through. I have to be careful not to forget to take that. But there's only like 4 days worth of dosage left. I'm not sure what to do. Get another box. I mean, if it stops me from suffocating, then fine. But the problem with these, what they're talking about when they say a drug is addictive, is that the body itself, not the mind, goes into what's called rebound. So it produces the pain to trick you into taking the drug because it becomes dependent on the drug and it wants the drug and it doesn't want the pain. So it says, okay, it's great pain, and he'll put some more drug in you in whatever mechanism the addiction base carries through. I recognize that distinctly. But that's not important right now. So the Deslon Burl, I'm going to get back on that somehow. And I think that the as soon as their bad news comes through, because I don't think the care coordinator's working. I don't know what he's doing. I'm going to call again. I'm going to tell the girl downstairs that he needs his own phone number because he seems to have a problem staying at his desk. And if he's moving around that much just to talk to patients, it means that he's not doing his job at his desk as to all the ones that are requiring him. Because he's not carrying his phone, he doesn't use his own number. No, he gives me a card with his name on it, and it's the front desk. I'm going to hand him his card back and say, "You're misrepresenting yourself. You are not the front desk. You are the care coordinator, and you need a direct phone number where you answer the phone when needed. So get your hands dirty, boy." I'm so serious. Some people have such cush jobs they can just spend their lives making money and have never worked a day in their life. Really, not really, never really. And then to be honored and contributed, like, oh, you were the contributor, you were the backbone of us all. You're so sweet, Chris. Well, what did he do? Well, he was so sweet. Yeah, cute is sweet. Cute is sweet as far as I can throw it. So I'm being mean. I am being mean. Sometimes you have to be. It's getting warm in here. This shirt, I wore this the other day, and boom, my temperature jumped through the roof. It must be like some kind of thermal. It's so thick and fleece. It's too early in the year. But oh, I was chilled out. This just chilled out a little while ago in my stress. I'm not stressed. You know, I'm stressing. Hmm. Yeah. In a little while, I'll go sit down in the living room and close my eyes and wait till Jeff comes home for lunch and watch him rush from one end of the room to the other. I told him I want a simple, simple, simple grilled cheese sandwich. Yeah, that would be nice. Hmm. I recently get all. I find that if it's anything bigger than a sandwich, anything bigger than a sandwich, like a hamburger, I can't get it down. I can't get half of it down. So it's a waste of food to fix anything big. But I feel kind of bad for him because I'm not making any dishes, and what is he eating? So he has to make himself a more substantial sandwich, but he's going to have to take advantage of that and either do nightly meals for himself and let me help him through a recipe. Like, there's a recipe I like. We haven't done it in a while. It's called, it could be pronounced differently. I'd call it fricassee. Some people say um, fricassee, fricassee chicken. It's a technique of cooking of when you add the next ingredient, less than it is the ingredients itself. And surprisingly, it actually tastes different than if you make it either way. Uh, American style, we follow recipes and we have a placement of how things are cooked, and then we just put it all together and make casseroles, things like that. But fricassee chicken is is it's just very very naturally the way it tastes and the way the technique. Nice. And so he cooked a bunch of chicken up, and he doesn't know what to do with it. And the cordon bleu cookbook is sitting there with that recipe. He should check that out. Either that, oh no, that would be more of a ham than mushroom. We want to work with that chicken. No more ham, except for sandwich. I get tired of ham. And Abrams ham. Hashem. They want us to know the truth, don't they? Yeah, they do. About the thief and the liar and the murderer from the beginning. Yeah, the false state, the corruption, the presentation of righteousness when it's all hypocrites. All of it is hypocrisy. All of it. Especially this man. He's mad at the hypocrisy he sees amongst those on the street doing what the Old Testament tells them not to do, I imagine. I guess his question is, who gave them the Hebrew and where did they find it all? Well, it was given unto them to because it was theirs. It was not for Hebrew Israelites. It wasn't for the black man. It was designed for the false presentation to take control. So it's up to the black man to break through it, and they'd have. And so now they're all labeled as anti-Semite because we're against the monster called the beast of Revelation. That's right. And all the whole answer to it all, and they know that, is Trump. But Trump cannot be the Lion of the tribe of Judah unless you sacrifice him. That's right. And you're not going to do it. You are not going to do it. Now, hopefully not on my watch. And if you did such a thing, well, I don't know what the heavens can do for any of us, me or you. I don't. Anyone against Trump is an antichrist. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. This is his millennial reign. He's the dragon of Christianity. And we embrace him. He is the elephant in the room. Yeah, he is. In my room, in my life. EL-Enfant. And since his beginning, he was the anointed cherubim. Since his childhood, it's a glorious thing. Yeah, it is a glorious thing. Okay, take care. Don't be distressed by this video. Mr. Mighty Great Lion, stick it up your ass. Good Lord. Bye.